Hello everyone and welcome to our webinar, What's New in Syncfusion Essential Studio 25 Volume 2. I'm Sriram Shankaran, Senior Product Manager at Syncfusion, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. At Syncfusion, we are passionate about empowering developers with tools to build high-performance, responsive, and visually stunning applications across web, desktop, and mobile platforms. Today, we will dive into the exciting updates in Essential Studio 25 Volume 2, where we'll focus on the new features for Essential JS2, Blazor, mobile, and desktop controls. So whether you're building for web, mobile, or desktop, this release has something to make your workflow smoother and your apps more powerful. So here's what we will cover today. First, we will explore what's new in Essential JS2 components, including the exciting new block editor for creating rich structured content in your JavaScript and React web apps. Next, we will dive into what's in Syncfusion Blazor components, showcasing the powerful Blazor spreadsheet that brings Excel-like functionality to your web applications. Then we will move to the mobile part. That's what's new in Syncfusion .MAUI controls, featuring new tools like the dock layout. Finally, we will cover what's new in Essential Studio for WinForms, WPF, and WinUI controls, which is the Windows part. We will also have a live demo of some of the standout features in action, followed by a Q&A session to answer your questions and help you get the most out of this release. So that's our roadmap for today, covering the exciting updates in Essential Studio 25 Volume 2. Let's dive into our first topic and explore what's new in Essential JS2 components. So before that, let's have a look at what Essential JS2 is all about. It's a modern JavaScript UI controls library that has been built from the ground up to be lightweight, responsive, modular, and touch-friendly. So it is basically written in TypeScript and has no external dependencies. So it also includes complete support for Angular, React, Vue, ASP.NET MVC, and ASP.NET Core frameworks. So let's just dive in to the updates. So we'll just start with a new control. So the control's name is Block Editor, which is in preview mode. It is a modern block-based content editing solution for web applications. So what we will do is we will just check the demo of this particular control in the demo site. So I'll just navigate to the site. Yeah, there you go. So this is the block editor component. So as this tells, it is a powerful rich text editor that allows you to create structured content using blocks. So every other block can be like formatted, moved, or transformed into different types. So what I will do is I'll just click on the plus icon over here. You can see list of blocks that can be like added, where you have a general list of blocks, checklist, bullet list. Then you can like add code, image, or various text styles, which has the various headings and codes too. So I'll just add a checklist. As you can see, a new block has been like added. So this can be done by entering /2. You get the same menu over here, and by clicking on a particular text, you can see the formatting options. Also, this block editor, it supports various content types like text, link, code, mention, and labels. So let's have a look at the various features that are like available. So this component, it supports multiple block types, as we just saw, and rich text formatting. We can use / commands for quick block insertion and transformation. And we have hierarchical organization with expandable toggle blocks. I'll just show that to you. So this one is a toggle block. I can just collapse and expand it. So it's very useful for organizing content that can be expanded or collapsed, or for content for which the parent content alone needs to be like visible. And if needed, we can like view the child content. So next, we have support for inline special content such as links and labels and an interactive label option. I'll just show you that. So this is a link and this is a label. So what happens is that when I just enter the dollar symbol, this is a shortcut for inserting labels. And finally, you have the option to manipulate with the blocks with action menu. So I'll just show that to you. So this is the option. If I just click on it, you can duplicate, delete, move up or move down a particular block. So I'll just duplicate this. It has been duplicated. Then I will delete this. You can just move up or down this particular block. So that's with respect to this particular component. So the various APIs related to this component can be found in the API section. So these are the various APIs available. And with respect to the events, these are the ones. So this component is very much useful for document editing or notes taking or content creation tools. So let's go back to the slides. So now that a new control has been seen, we will just check the enhancements done to the already available controls. So we'll just start with the AI Assist view. So here enhancements are available in attachments. So the React AI Assist view supports attaching files directly to the prompts. As you can see in the image, a file is available in the prompt area. So this allows users to include documents like docx, PDF or images to enhance prompt context and get more accurate AI responses. Next, we'll move to charts where enhancement is available related to highlighting the last value with label. So the chart component, as you can see, supports highlighting the last value of a series with a label and a gridline indicator. So this provides a clear and immediate reference point for the series endpoint, which improves data readability and user interaction. And this feature is very useful when the final data point needs to be emphasized. It can be used in financial charts indicating the latest stock price. Next, we will come to the chat UI. It has a number of enhancements, starting with the chat status indicators. So as you can see in the image, the chat UI supports indicating the user's presence and activity states, which includes online, offline, busy, and away statuses, which is very common in most of the chat applications like Teams. Next, we have the chat compact mode. So the compact mode, what it does is that it aligns all the message to the left, as you can see in the image, regardless of the sender. So it creates a streamline layout, which is very, very useful for group conversations or space constraint interfaces. Next, we have the comprehensive chat operations. So using the chat UI, users can now perform message level actions that is directly within the chat interface, which includes copy, pin, reply, delete, and forward actions, which is again very much common in most of the chat applications. So now we will move to the data grid. As you can see in the image, a set of data is being selected and then it's converted into chart. So the React data grid, what it does is that it now integrates with the chart component. It allows users to visualize selected grid data through interactive charts. So what can be customized is that chart types, axes, and visual elements, all these can be customized. As you can see, a pie chart is displayed from the data selected from the grid. Now we will move to the diagram component. So in diagram component, the enhancement is related to the container support. So this feature allows users to group multiple nodes and connectors, providing a structured layout to manage complex diagrams. So the containers support dragging, resizing, and customization for headers, textiles, etc. Next, you have the UML sequence generation. So with this feature, what you can do is you can automatically generate UML sequence diagrams from model data. So this streamlines the visualization of interactions between objects in a system. What it does is that it dynamically creates lifelines, messages, and activation boxes based on the provided data. So in turn, it reduces manual effort and increases the accuracy. Then we have the mermaid syntax. So this feature allows users to create UML sequence diagrams from mermaid syntax and they can export them back to. So it simplifies visualization, sharing, editing, and cross-platform use. Users can also use AI assistants to generate mermaid syntax for these diagrams and directly import it into the React diagram component. Next is the automatic port creation support. So this feature allows users to create a port dynamically by clicking and dragging the mouse over any node or connector, as you can see in the image. So this behavior is by default in off mode, but can be activated programmatically. So the image clearly depicts it. Next, we have the axis drag restriction. So this feature, what it does is that it allows users to restrict diagram elements from being dragged into the negative axis. So this behavior is also turned off by default, but can be activated. Then comes the performance improvements. So the diagram component now renders significantly faster while initially loading with nodes that contain annotations and connectors. So basic node rendering performance in large diagrams has been improved by an outstanding 92% when rendering 10,000 nodes with connectors and annotations. Okay, the next component is Gantt chart, and the enhancement is toggle weekend visibility in timeline. So users can now toggle the visibility of weekend cells in the timeline. So this feature allows customization of timeline view to focus solely on working days. And this makes it easier to interpret and manage project data efficiently, as you can see in the image. Next is the introduction of WBS column. WBS column has been introduced to visualize the hierarchical organization of tasks. So this helps users effectively organize, track, and analyze tasks using work breakdown levels. And this feature improves task clarity and makes project planning more structured. Next is task constraints. So task constraints feature visually represents constraints such as start no earlier than or finish no later than to understand task dependencies and schedule limits directly from the chart itself. So the image shows that. Okay, so the next component is image editor, starting with custom dimensions. Users can now open images with specified width and height values. So the image dimensions can be precisely controlled while preserving the aspect ratio if needed. And this provides more control over rendering images, especially when dealing with high resolution images or fixed canvas requirements. Next, support related to text formatting. Underline and strike through formatting options have been added to text annotations. So this feature is very much useful for creating instructional materials, documentation screenshots, and professional image presentations, as you can see in the image. Next, support for BMP. Users can now load BMP bitmap image files, expanding the file format compatibility. So users can upload BMP files via the file uploader UI, or it can be done programmatically. It also helps design professionals and users working with high resolution images. Next, you have the image smoothing feature. So this feature allows users to control the smoothing effect of high resolution images. On enabling this, the component applies image smoothing to images during rendering, reducing distortion and jagged edges in scale or rotated images. Okay, so the next component is rich text editor. We will start with the insert code block, which is very much useful for developers. So the code block feature allows users to insert and display formatted code snippets directly within the editor, as you can see in the image. It also includes a language switch option in the drop-down menu. It enables users to specify the programming language for each code block. Next is the bottom toolbar. This feature provides an option to render the toolbar at the bottom of the editor, as you can see. So this improves accessibility and layout adaptability, importantly in mobile and touch-first interfaces. This enhances user interaction by keeping toolbar actions easily reachable. Then we have the copy and paste table rows and columns. So users can now copy and paste entire rows or columns within a table. Data can be efficiently duplicated without the need to manually re-enter information. As you can see in the image, either the entire row or column or only specific cells can be copied and pasted. Next, we have the horizontal line feature, which is users can insert horizontal lines to separate content sections visually. So this feature improves document readability and structure, particularly in long form content or reports. This allows clear demarcation between different sections or topics, as you can see in the image. So a horizontal line has been added, and it just clearly demarcates the various sections available in the content. Then we have pop-up toolbar. So with respect to the pop-up toolbar, the rich text editor supports pop-up overflow mode in its toolbar. As you can see in the screen, when there's not enough space to display all toolbar items, the overflowing items automatically move to a pop-up container. And I think this is the last feature in rich text editor, which is the recent color option. So this is a very common option available in color pickers. So the recent color option in the font color and background color pickers allow users to quickly access and reuse recently applied colors. Okay, so the next component is TreeGrid. So we'll start with sticky headers. The TreeGrid now supports sticky headers, which keeps column headers visible while scrolling through large datasets. As you can see in the image, the column header is fixed, whereas the data is getting scrolled within the available space. Okay, so the next component, sorry, we are just continuing with the TreeGrid, where we have the enhancement related to load on demand for remote data. So the TreeGrid also supports loading child rows on demand with row virtualization when using remote data. So this improves performance by rendering only visible rows and fetching data as needed. It provides smooth scrolling and faster load times for large data sets. Okay, the final component in the Essential JS2 part, which is the word processor. We'll start with the ribbon interface. The document editor provides a Microsoft Word-like ribbon UI that organizes tools and commands into intuitive tabs and groups, making editing faster and easier. Contextual tabs appear dynamically based on user actions, providing a streamlined experience. So the ribbon is also fully customizable to suit specific application needs. Next comes accessibility. The document editor supports screen readers for better accessibility. So when enabled, it provides the necessary information so that screen reader tools can read and interpret the content. And we have the group shape support, which is this feature ensures that the group shape in Word documents is preserved, maintaining its integrity when a document is opened and saved using the word processor component. Okay, so that completes what's new in Essential JS2 components. Next, we will have a look at what's new in Syncfusion Blazor components. This is a common update. Syncfusion Blazor components are now compatible with .NET 10 previews 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, coming to the new components, we have spreadsheet, which is under preview. So this provides a comprehensive Excel-like experience in web applications. Before having a look at the demo of this particular control, we will just see the preview to production ready components too. So we have the speech to text component, which converts voice to text with real-time transcription capabilities. So we'll have a look at the demo of both these components. So I'll just go to the demo site. Okay. So this is the spreadsheet component. So this spreadsheet component, it efficiently handles large data sets with the help of virtual scrolling. And it comes with support for formatting cells, modifying formula, and data entry. So this is the control, as you can see. So now we will just explore the various features that are available. First one is hyperlink. So this is a straightforward feature where links can be added in the spreadsheet. If I just click on this particular link, it would navigate to another sheet or another website. With formula, we can make changes to the formula related to the cells. For example, this particular cell has a formula which is D3 minus D4. We can just modify it, which is very much similar to Excel. The next feature is protection. With protection enabled, what happens is that unintended edits to a spreadsheet is avoided. For example, if I'm going to double click on this particular row, what this tells us that the sheet is protected. Some parts may be view only and can't be changed. So with the help of this particular feature, unintended edits can be very much restricted. With respect to data analysis, we have sorting and filtering features, and they are quite basic. As you can see over here, this column is sorted based on the player name in ascending order. So you will just click on this and sort it in descending. There you go. So that's done. With respect to filtering, we have Excel-like filters available over here. So I'll just click on this. And remove this. So as you can see, the data is like filtered. And finally, we have cell formatting. So with cell formatting, each cell or a range of cells can be like formatted. As you can see, one or the other formatting has been like provided to each of the cells in this particular spreadsheet. So that's with respect to the spreadsheet component. Next, we will have a look at the speech to text component. So this is the component. If I just click on it, I can start speaking and my voice will be like converted to text and transcribed over here. With this particular component, we can modify the styling. I'll just make some changes. As you can see, it gets modified. We can modify the language. Multi-language support is available with German, Chinese, French, and Arabic. Interim results is a feature where whether you want the voice to be like transcribed immediately or once we just stop speaking. For example, this is interim results set to on. If I just set it to off, what would happen is that it would start to listen, and only when I stop it, it would be transcribed, as you can see over here. Show tooltip is related to the tooltip that you see on screen. If I just switch it off, no tooltip is displayed. And with show icon with text, this is just an icon displayed over here. And if I switch it to on, you get the text over here. So that's with respect to the speech to text component. Now let's go back to the spreadsheet itself. Sorry, the slides. Now coming to the existing components and their enhancements. So with respect to charts, we have the border radius for accumulation charts. The border radius feature for accumulation charts, including pie and donut, enhances visual aesthetics by adding rounded corners to chart elements. Next, we have the center label support for pie and donut charts, which is users can display labels at the center of the pie or donut charts, as you can see in the image, and it provides better data context and improving the presentation of information. Next, we have the stack labels for stack chart series. Users can now display the total value of each section in a stack column or bar chart, making it easier to read and understand the data series. So this greatly improves the ability to interpret complex data sets, as you can see in the image. So each stack column has a value at the top of it. That is the total value. We have customizable scroll bar position. So this feature allows users to customize the position of the scroll bar within the charts itself, which enables enhanced user interaction tailored to specific project requirements. Then you have the zoom toolbar position customization, where users can customize the position of the zoom toolbar in charts. So this functionality offers flexibility in designing user interfaces that require specific tool placements. You can see in the image with respect to the zoom toolbar position. Next, we have pixel-based column width customization. Users can now specify column width in exact pixel values for column series types in the Blazor chart component. And this feature offers precise control over the appearance of chart columns. Okay, so that's it with the charts. Next, we'll move to data grid. So we can like drag and drop anywhere in a grid, as you can see in the image. So the data grid now allows users to drop rows into empty areas of the target grid, making row reordering and moving rows between grids more flexible and user-friendly. Next, you have the filter editor customization feature. Users can customize the built-in filter editors in the filter menu and Excel filter dialogs in the data grid, as you can see in the GIF image. Then you have the accent insensitive search, where the data grid ignores accent marks and diacritic characters during search and filter operations. This makes it easier to find matching records in multilingual data. Next feature is persist selection with remote data. So the persist selection feature supports custom data binding. Selections are retained across data operations such as paging, sorting, and filtering. Now coming to diagram. So most of the features in the Blazor diagram component is similar to the one in the Essential JS2 components. Here we have port support for connectors. So this feature allows users to define ports, that is connection points on connectors. These ports can be used to create precise connections between connectors or shapes. Also, an enhanced connector routing algorithm has been introduced in this particular release. Coming to drop-downs, we have performance improvements. Significant performance improvements have been made to drop-down components, especially in initial rendering and virtualization. So this finally results in a smoother and faster user experience. The next component is rich text editor. Similar to diagram, most of the features are similar to essential JS2 components, but we have slash menu support over here. So the slash command menu support that is triggered by slash helps users quickly access formatting options, insert elements like images, tables, and headings, and trigger commands. So this feature, what it does is that it enhances the user experience by simplifying the process of applying styles and inserting content. And we have the format painter support in rich text editor, where the format painter functionality, it enables users to copy formatting such as font style, size, color, or other rich text styles from one section of text and apply it to another. So this feature is particularly beneficial for maintaining consistent styling across documents without manually adjusting format settings repeatedly. Okay, with that we have completed what's new in Blazor 2. Let's move on to the document processing libraries. First is the PDF library, where we have optimized font embedding. So, which is smarter font subset embedding during PDF to PDF-A conversion. Then we have AES GCM encryption, where modern encryption for enhanced document security has been introduced. With respect to redaction enhancements, we can customize fill colors for redaction marks and content areas. Next is the word library, where features like editable regions are available, in which we can define editable sections in protected documents. And we have support for multilingual list numbering, which supports Arabic, Hebrew, Chinese, Thai, and more languages. Then we have drawing canvas presentation, where we can maintain layout integrity during Word to PDF or image conversions. So finally, we have the Excel library, where enhancements are related to autofill and fill series. So here we can programmatically fill cells based on patterns, sequences, or trends, and no more manual data entry is required. Okay, so with that we have completed web and the document processing sections. Next we'll move to the mobile part. Here we will have a look at the Syncfusion .NET controls and what's new in them. Coming to the new controls, we have a couple of controls. The first one is color picker. The color picker is a UI component that allows users to select colors from various color palettes or spectrum. So it is particularly useful in design, drawing, or customization scenarios within .NET MAUI applications. So we'll have a demo of this once we check out the next component too. The next component is dock layout. So this is a layout panel that arranges its child elements by docking them to the top, left, right, or bottom of the container. So what we will do is, we will just check the demo of these two components. I'll just navigate to the .NET MAUI controls demo, and I will switch to, okay, first we'll have a look at the color picker. Okay, as you can see, the color picker has two color modes. One is spectrum and one is palette. So this is the spectrum color mode. I'll just change it to palette. There you go. The next one is show recent colors. So for that, what I will do is, I'll just select a color, for example red, and apply it over here. If I just click on it again, you can see the recent colors, right? I'll just switch it off. Now the recent colors are not available. Then this is the mode switcher visibility. So it's available over here. So I'll just click on this, and you can see the input area available over here. So what I will do is, I'll just uncheck both these properties. And if I click on this, you can see that the switcher visibility is also not available and the input area is also not available. I will also disable the alpha slider. It's gone. Next, we have show rounded palette. I will just switch this on, and click on the palette. Sorry. So here you have a rounded palette. If I just switch it off, it becomes square. I will also show the recent colors. So the recent color is shown. What I will do is I'll just clear it. So it's not there. So these are the features or properties available related to the SF color picker control in .NET MAUI. Next, we will have a look at the dock layout component or control. So this is the SF dock layout control. So with respect to the various properties available, you have the expand last child property. If I just switch it off, you can see the changes. We can increase or decrease the horizontal spacing. Similarly, the vertical spacing. Then we can also make changes to RTL, that is from left to right or right to left, or to match the parent. So these are two real-time UI use cases which demonstrates a structured mailbox created using the dock layout component. And we have a management or productivity tool too, developed using this. So that's with these two components. So I'll just move back to the slides. So these are existing components, and let's have a look at the enhancements. The first one is data grid. We have row template enhancements. So this feature allows users to present detailed content for each row with custom .NET MAUI controls. Next, we have enhancements related to the clipboard operation. Users can perform clipboard operations such as cut, copy, and paste between the data grid and external applications like, for example, Notepad and Excel. And then we have serialization and deserialization, which can be used to save and restore settings. Okay, let's move on to the next control, which is Kanban, where we have multi-category workflows for Kanban columns. So this feature enables seamless cart transitions across multiple categories within the same column or between columns. And this helps organize and manage complex workflows more efficiently. And then we have the PDF viewer, where we can add views as custom stamps. So users can now programmatically add views, that is UI elements, to a PDF document as custom stamps. So while saving, the view is converted into an image and embedded into the PDF. So this functionality is especially useful in scenarios such as inspection or approval workflows, where dynamic UI elements like approval sales, checklists, or summary views need to be visually captured and stamped on specific pages of a PDF report for official documentation. So that completes the mobile part. Next, we'll move on to Windows. So what's new in Essential Studio for WinForms, WPF, and WinUI controls? First, we'll check WinForms. We have calculation engine performance enhancements. So this release delivers significant performance improvements to the calculation engine, where we have faster conditional formatting, core formula execution is like optimized. Then we have again faster nested formula evaluation. So this enhances the speed and efficiency in these scenarios. Now coming to WPF, we have simplified theme customization. So with this release, support has been added for applying themes based on default styles. So this removes the previous requirement for resource merging into AppSample. This fundamental change delivers several key advantages like enhanced runtime flexibility, effortless custom styling, and a clean application structure. Now coming to WinUI, our controls are now compatible with Microsoft Windows APK SDK. So this ensures a seamless and stable development experience when building modern Windows applications using the latest features and APIs provided by the Windows App SDK. And the controls are compatible with .NET 10. Even the WPF controls are compatible with .NET 10. Then we have the AI Assist with Toolbar customization. So this feature allows users to customize the response toolbar in chat. So by default, the toolbar contains built-in options such as copy, regenerate, like, and dislike. So users can also add custom items as and when needed. That covers our exciting updates for WinForms, WPF, and WinUI controls, wrapping up the new features in Essential Studio 25 Volume 2. So let's take a quick moment to summarize the highlights before we jump into your questions. In today's webinar, we explore the powerful new features in Syncfusion Essential Studio 25 Volume 2. So this release brings cutting-edge tools like the block editor for JavaScript, Blazor spreadsheet, and .MAUI doc layout. Together, these updates help you build responsive, high-performance, and accessible applications across web, mobile, and desktop with less effort. So with that, we have come to the end of this session.